As we reach the end of February and wrapping up the end of another season, we say goodbye to cedar and hello to new pollen. Here to tell us what to look out for is Dr. John Viasis of St. David's North Austin Medical Center. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, thanks again for the invitation.
So, what pollen do we need to look out for as we move into a new season?
Right, so we're getting into the transition. Now, the cedar was a little bit late this year compared to other years, and so we still got another couple of weeks of this stuff left. Thankfully, though, I think we've spiked. I think it's going to start coming down some, but then roughly in about maybe 2 months or so, we'll start getting into the oak and the other tree pollen season, and that's when you see all that yellow powder on the cars and on the windowsills.
So, is this the exact same thing that we're kind of dealing with cedar as we go into this new season? How are we going to be affected, or is there any difference in how we're going to be affected?
Yeah, I mean, I think that here in Central Texas, there's always something that's pollinating for most of the year. So we're getting done with the cedar season, and then that's the winter. And then during the spring season, we start seeing the tree pollen followed closely by the grass pollen season. Symptoms are very similar between the two: itchy eyes, itchy nose, sneezing, congestion, drainage, the classic allergy symptoms.
So, how can we tell which one is actually affecting us, or is there any way to find out?
Well, that's hard. That's hard because I mean, when these trees pollinate, especially during the springtime, there's a lot of overlap. I mean, all these trees, the elm, the oak, the hickory pecan trees, all those tend to pollinate roughly within a few weeks or around the same time, and that pollen doesn't disintegrate very quickly. So, especially in when the levels are really high, you'll feel it because you have a mixture of a bunch of different pollens in one at one time.
So, I have to ask you, I do this every time, but what's the best way to take care of these effects? Because we're going to feel it.
Yeah,
I'm already feeling it, but how do people at
yeah.
home feel it? And how can they
Oh,
take care of this?
well, I always advocate that the first step is really answering the question is it really allergy or not? Because there's a lot of things out there, congestion, drainage, sneezing. Yeah, those are allergy symptoms, but it doesn't always mean that they're allergies. And we as a society always use the term allergy very freely, right? So uh, the best thing to do is to get tested. I mean, see your board certified allergist so that we will help in getting the testing in place and answer the question. And that'll help you prepare for that season moving forward. Once you know that, then you can plan better in avoidance measures, in medications. If necessary, you can talk about desensitization, but really that's the approach.
Is there anything that we can buy over the counter that would kind of help us out?
Yeah, I mean, right before the season, I usually advocate about 3 or 4 weeks prior to the season is you get on some kind of nasal sprays, Flonase, Nasacort, Rhinocort, in combination with an antihistamine is oftentimes helpful. And of course, you follow the avoidance measures, change your filters, stay inside a little bit more, don't let the dog on the bed. I mean, those kinds of things.
Of course. Well, Dr. Viasis, thank you so much for your time, as always.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Good seeing you.